When it comes to the debate of the best new-gen anime, most people will say it's Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, and now even Chainsaw Man. Most people tend to leave out one, Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho 100 is quite possibly the best new-gen anime, and may even be a contender as the GOAT anime. Yes, this anime does in fact affect LeBron James' legacy. With this anime finally over, I've only got one word to describe the show. Masterpiece. I want to start with probably one of my favorite things, which is the animation. Most people are put off by the animation because of the art style. The manga of Mob Psycho was done by one who is famously the author of this underground webcomic that you may not have heard of. It's called like One Punch Man. And now he is the author of the newest manga, Versus. One's art style has always been touted by most as bad, but I think it's unique more than anything. While some of his drawings in the manga may not look fancy, he does go 100% in his art depending on the scenes and moments. I would say the most underrated part of his manga is his paneling. When a fight happens, you know what's going on. Some manga are really hard to read fight scenes, and I'm calling you out, Tokyo Ghoul. With One, you know what's going on because his style is simple and easy to follow. And when it's simple, it's easy to animate. Well, easier. Animation is never easy. If Mob's art style was similar to, let's say, Berserk, it may be hard to animate it. I mean, Berserk has never had an amazing adaptation, and it has some of the most jaw-dropping panels ever. Simple can be good and unique. It distinguishes itself from every other anime now. You put a side-by-side comparison of every single new-gen anime, and they all look kind of similar. Throw Mob in, and it stands out. I already mentioned that the animators go all out, and they really go all out throughout this entire series. Every single battle that Mob gets into is intense. You've got Mob versus Mogami, Mob versus Dimple, got Mob versus the boss. Basically, if Mob is involved, you know the animation will go 100%. Even the Dimple versus Tree, that was insane. Seeing animation like this is breathtaking, and with its incredible visuals and expressive design, combined with its emotional moments, the animation is peak. And of course, what's probably even better than the animation is the story. We follow Mob, who's an Esper, a really powerful Esper, probably the most powerful Esper. Yet despite being so powerful, he is the most human out of anybody. We see a lot of different Espers throughout this series, and they all share one thing: a giant fucking ego. They all think they're the best. And when you live in a world where everybody is pretty much average, but you have these powers, you will think you are better than most people. To them, power is everything. If we take a real world example, most people would like to think that they would be Spider-Man in terms of morals, but I just don't think that's true. Let's say if I had the powers of the Flash, I may help people, but I'd probably do some stuff to show off because I have this cool power. Enter Mob. He comes in and basically tells all these people that they ain't shit, because Mob doesn't view his powers the same as others. He's a person who isn't the smartest or the best looking, he doesn't have a lot of confidence, and he has issues standing up for himself. He's just a nervous wreck. But the series shows his development. One big decision he decides to make is joining the Body Improvement Club so he can improve himself, obviously. He starts making friends and starts growing. He learns to stand up for himself. And not only does he help himself, but he helps others. And that is so important to him. He's able to get people to look at themselves and tell them that their powers don't make them who they are. You are who you make yourself. The characters are also really good. You've got the greatest con man of all time, Reagan. I mean, come on. My favorite character in the entire show. He's so good at lying. He is the master at BSing his way through anything. You've got Hanazawa with an incredible redemption arc. He goes from being this kid with a massive ego, believing he's the gift to the world, and realizing that he's a commoner. And don't even get me started on Dimple. A freaking spirit has also an amazing arc with the power of friendship. It doesn't get better than that. I want to talk about the ending, so this is going to get big into spoilers. If there is one thing that animes struggle with, it's the ending. Endings are hard. Lots of shows have bad endings despite being a good show overall, but to nail an ending takes great talent and writing. And One, he's got both. The ending to Mob Psycho 100 is quite honestly one of the best endings in all of anime. An arc for Shigeo that started from the beginning with this one question: who are you? Mob has spent this entire series trying to do two things: figure out how he can improve himself and ask out his crush. That's it. It's a very simple motivation, but because of his experiences that he goes through, it eventually blows up. And here Mob is faced with that question that Iroh has said best: who are you and who do you want to be? That's what Mob has to figure out. The final arc shows his two sides: the one he shows to everyone and the one he suppresses. It's why he tends to be emotionless, because if he does show his feelings, it gets the better of him and he will explode. These two sides eat away at him. What I love about this is that it's two sides that represent two different things. One, it's the struggle of finding out who you really are. And two, puberty. Basically showing how our emotions are a mess and we don't know what we really want. I'm not here to give you a science lesson on puberty, but you know that everyone grows. And this series was all about Mob's growth. With that growth, he's finally able to accept the part of himself that he's buried for so long. He accepts himself. He knows who he is and what he wants. It was not easy getting there, but he did. And he's an amazing person for that, because along the way he helped people around him figure out what they want, what Reagan wanted, what Dimple wanted, what Hanazawa wanted, what his brother wanted, and so on and so forth. Mob helped these people, and in return they helped him because they care about him. That is who Mob is. A kind person who will always help people because it's the right thing to do. A person with so much power who can destroy the world with a snap of his fingers decides to be a good person because he doesn't want to hurt people. Even when everything falls apart, you pick those pieces up because it's important. That is what makes Mob Psycho 100 one of the best animes I have ever seen. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hoped you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel as well. I'm MoeFoeGenius, and I'm signing out. See you all next time.